Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel and welcome to another video. By the way, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to my channel, and if you like this video, make sure you give me a thumbs up. So let's get started on the topic of this video.
Oh my god, I love Chipotle. Chipotle is my life.
Now, in previous videos, I have posted what I personally get at different places, but in this video, I will be going over the macros for most of the items or products that I find that people are buying mostly. So we're gonna cover as far as what I would consider a high protein, or like what's the highest protein item, and also what would be a lower carb or lower fat options. So let's get started. So regarding when you get to the first part of the line, it's the rice. So the first thing they ask you is if you want a bowl or burrito or tacos. So typically people get the burrito or the bowl. With the bowl, you're just getting rice. With the burrito, you're obviously getting the tortilla and you're having rice inside of it, which is gonna be a little bit more carbs. So when it comes to picking a lower carb option, I would obviously recommend the bowl. And in the bowl, you can also get like a salad, which would be the lowest carb option. So for the cilantro lime cauliflower rice, I've never personally tried it, but I've heard it is a lower carb option for people who want the rice, like taste alternative, but are trying to save on carbs or are considered keto. So for that, we have 1 gram of fat, 3 grams of protein, and 7 carbs for that. If you decide you want either white or brown rice, that is going to cost you, for rice, it's gonna cost you 36 carbs, 4 grams of protein, and 6 grams of fat. That's for the brown rice. If you want the white rice is gonna be 40 grams of carbs, 4 grams of protein, and 4 grams of fat. So actually a little less in fat for the white rice. I personally like the white rice better. It's a little bit higher in carbs, but nothing crazy necessarily. So just kind of depends on what you're going for. If you need carbs in your meal, which I recommend for a normal diet, having carbs, I think that would be a better option. Me personally, I can't do a burrito unless I cut it in half and don't eat the whole thing, just because I can't have too many carbs in one sitting with my hypoglycemia. But if it's a normal person, you know, to each his or her own. I would recommend if you're keto and you're trying to find a good alternative for that, to get the salad or to get the cauliflower rice. Now, on to the beans. Personally, I don't eat beans, so I don't really have a preference, but they have black and pinto beans. So for the black beans, it's 22 grams of carbs, 8 grams of protein, and 1.5 grams of fat. So that's not too bad. And then the pinto beans are 20 grams of carbs, 8 grams of protein, and 1.5 grams of fat. So relatively low fat and a little bit of protein, but not a ton, but more carbs. So after that, you choose your meat. So if you're vegetarian or vegan, you would choose the avocado alternative. Now, for those of you who love avocado and you are always going over on your fats, I would say do not get the avocado, or get it on the side and just use a little bit of it, because it is higher in fat just per serving. So it has 22 grams of fat, 2 grams of protein, and 8 grams of carbs. As far as proteins go, for our barbacoa, we have 7 grams of fat, 24 grams of protein, and 2 grams of carbs. For carnitas, which I do sometimes get, it's a little bit higher in fat. It's 12 grams of fat, 23 grams of protein, and 0 grams of carbs. Chicken is gonna be 32 grams of protein and 7 grams of fat, no carbs. Steak is gonna have 6 grams of fat, 21 grams of protein, and 1 gram of carbs. They don't have the carne asada, which is something I usually get, but I would imagine it's close to what the steak macros are. And for those of us who eat, again, vegan, you can get the sofritas, which are 10 grams of fat, 8 grams of protein, and 9 grams of carbs. Again, not super high in protein, but it's a good alternative. I don't eat dairy, so I don't get sour cream or cheese, which cuts out a lot of fat, which a lot of people love getting those items. So I would steer clear of those. If you are a dairy lover, I would also recommend getting them on the side, so you can kind of like portion it out differently versus having an entire portion. So fajita veggies are 0 fat, 1 gram of protein, and 5 carbs, not breaking the bank. So if you want a little bit of flavoring, I would recommend getting that. The fresh salsa is just 4 grams of carbs, nothing else. The Monterey Jack cheese is 8 grams of protein, 6 grams of 6 grams of protein and 1 carb. So a little bit higher in fats. The corn salsa that I get is 1.5 grams of fat, 3 grams of protein, and 16 carbs. Obviously, lettuce is gonna be lettuce. Which is 1 gram of carbs, so you're not breaking the bank for that. Sour cream is 3 grams of fat, 2 grams of protein, and 3 carbs. So not the worst thing in the world, but I would recommend getting it on the side if you are going to get it. So if you're looking for something high protein, I'm gonna recommend you getting the chicken. And it's a little bit leaner of an alternative compared to the other meats. Chicken is more plain, but at the same time, it's 32 grams of protein and 7 grams of fat. So I would recommend getting that. And I also would recommend, if you're not really caring as much about fats or you're not really caring which meat you get, just get double meat, because double meat means double protein. So that 32 would turn into 64 if you get double portion. As far as for lower carb, for just overall like your carb source, I would say either get the cauliflower rice and or the lettuce, just because then it's more of a salad. You can load up more on like the veggies. You can get some of the other toppings like the corn if you really wanted to, or the salsa. But I know some people aren't lettuce people, so that cauliflower rice would be good. Or if you're like me, sometimes if I'm, at the end of my day and I'm just like, hey, I don't have that many carbs left, I'll get a half a portion of rice. So if you're like me and you love the vinaigrette, or you love the vinaigrette like I did, the macros for that are gonna be 60 grams of fat, 2 grams of protein, and 21 carbs. So this is why I cut it out, is it's almost like a full serving of fat and carbs in one portion or one serving. So I tend to not get that anymore, or if I do, I just barely drizzle it on. The best bet thing you could possibly do is just get things on the side, which is annoying for them, but that means you have more control over what portioning you're doing, or just get the bowl and just kind of pick at it. Completely up to you. So that would be my summary of that. So if you guys liked this, make sure you comment below, and I would love to hear your feedback on what other restaurants or food places that I should try. I think one of the next ones I want to do is Wendy's. I want to do a couple other ones, like I did Chick-fil-A, but I did Chick-fil-A for like what my favorite was, but I would like to do like a summary of like what the breakdown is. And by the way, this is all coming from their website. It is a pain sometimes to navigate some of these websites, but it's also, super helpful if you're trying to keep track of what you're eating and all of that. So I hope you guys like this video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.
Nice to know ya, let's do it again.